The original NES Bionic Commando, of course, is not the original game. I mean, it was an arcade game before, but the NES version is without a doubt the version from the 80s that really deserves like a remake, because it has the unique enemies and the storyline and everything. It's just coherent. Everything in the game is something you can develop and continue building on top of. Also, that's the version that I think most people remember as the cult classic. The original game has this kind of really 80s tackiness to it that we really wanted to embrace. I really like that kind of feel to it, the bright colors and the shades and everything's like the heroic guy running into the sunset in the introduction sequence, like the prologue of the game. The music of the original game is also, I mean, one of the memorable areas. One of, I think, the reasons why it's remembered so fondly.
I collected all the screenshots from the original game and pixelated them so you can clearly see what kind of color scheme they were using. The colors in the original are really saturated, really high colors. The reason for this, I believe, was the fact that they needed to separate the character from the background. Everything in a 2D game is really hard to read due to the fact of low detail and really tiling textures and everything. So we wanted, of course, to keep the same style, not only because we like the actual colors, but also because we need the same kind of readability in our game. The characters in the original game was, conceptually speaking, very slimmed. They were all a bit sci-fi army style, and that's something that I wanted to, create a sort of new approach to. While having few characters, I want very diverse visual or conceptual impact on each character. Rad Spencer, the Bionic Commando, represents the street 80s.
With the police jacket,
army meets cool 80s guy.
Like, this guy goes to war in style.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole idea. And the reference for this was Iceman from Top Gun.
Oh yeah.
We had Marty McFly, also sort of 80s icons, legends. While Super Joe, we try to keep a more a specific American touch to. He has this kind of
he's the American
Sam
hero.
Elliott cowboy approach. While the Wired Gunner is some sort of more
Austrian.
Austrian Lederhosen style combined with RoboCop design elements, which is also really something I enjoy doing.
The bosses of the original NES game, I mean, they weren't that great. Gameplay-wise, they didn't work, really. So they had to be completely redesigned, and I mean, that ties into the visual design as well. We needed completely new bosses that really used kind of
the unique mechanics of the gameplay itself.
Yeah, swinging, you need to use the arm to beat the boss and kind of reveal the weak spot of the boss. And the really classic, you can only shoot the boss on the big red bulb thing. So we wanted to bring that into the game and also make sure that you always need to use the arm and the weapons to beat the boss.
Yeah.
And we went crazy with the bosses.
Yeah, we really did.
All the boss concepts, I mean, they started on a gameplay concept. I had an idea for how we would fight the boss, and then I brought it to Jacob, and then the visual, like the design of how it should look in detail, really took shape.
Yeah, it was definitely a gameplay governed design process, where the bosses in some cases might look odd simply because they support a strange or unique gameplay.
I had an idea of a boss where you would kind of unscrew bolts on the front of it, and shield plates would fall off, and then you would reveal like the weak spot of the boss.
Yeah, it is. In the original, there was a silly enemy. I can't remember which area, but
Area 7.
Yeah, Area 7 was controlling a small
tank of some sort.
Yeah, some kind of machine device, and that's something we just used as to ignite the inspiration for the Siege machine. Or all the bosses actually being controlled by small people. Still an element which is hilarious and needed to be, taken care of in some manner.
Working and collaborating with Capcom is wonderful. It's an honor working with a company that made so many great games that I played when I was a kid. we have Gunsmoke, we have Mega Man, of course, we have DuckTales, all with great graphics, great music, great gameplay, everything that set the bar for so many genres. Working with them and learning from their expertise and experience within making games, and also being able to bring your ideas to the table and have them, look at that and say, yeah, this is good, work with this. It's so enjoyable. People have been waiting for 20 years for a sequel or a remake of this game because the wire mechanic doesn't age, so it's timeless. The fan expectations are, of course, huge.